Alright, so as I talked about, this is, Jesus. Nothing like trying to shoot a video with Layne in the background. So, as I mentioned, I decided to go with low bar again today. I decided to go with low bar again today. So, quick pro tip for you guys today. Do not eat too much fiber right before you squat. You see me laughing at the end of my first set, like I just couldn't stop farting. TMI maybe, I don't care, but that leads me into a perfect transition, believe it or not, into what I want to talk about right now, and that is a question I get frequently because, as you probably know, I cannot keep my breath when I do squats, or really any movement now because of my eye. I can't do the Valsalva and hold my breath, so one of the things I have to do is brace, and then on the concentric portion of the lift, let the air out. Well, a lot of times I'll get people to say, hey, you know, you're holding your breath, or it sure looks like you're keeping your breath, and, you know, make sure you be careful, or how come you're not letting the air go? And I actually am, it just looks like I'm not. So one of the things I do to try to help keep a good brace is, because this is something I'm still learning and trying to get better at, is keeping a brace while letting the air go. So what I do is I just have a little bit of an opening and I have my top lip over my bottom lip and just let the air out that way a little bit, and that just allows me to keep my brace a little bit better. So because if I breathe out like I just lose it completely. So I do this, and one of the ways you'll actually know if I'm breathing out or not is, as my friends so politely like to call it, I mouth fart all the time. So when I go through the concentric portion of the lift, you'll hear the squeaking of the breath coming through my lips, and I'll actually pause this right now and play it so you can actually hear what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm definitely breathing out. You just don't hear it with the addition of music or whatever else is in the background that I normally have going on, some talking, whatever else. But I am letting it go. And one of the things that I'm really working on hard, as I mentioned, was being able to brace while letting my air go. So this is one thing I'm actually working on with my physical therapist right now, is mastering the art of breathing while keeping a good brace.
So your head position's good, your chin tucked, your forehead's off the table. My thumb, you're gonna push down towards my thumb so you can get a little bit of serratus anterior and not lat. Glutes are turned off, hamstrings are turned off. And you're holding for as long as you can with the intra-abdominal pressure and normal respiration. Once you start to fatigue in the neck, if that's where the weakness is, then that's your hold time.
It's a skill, just like anything else. The more you practice it, the more you understand about it, the better you can get. And there are ways to get a pretty good brace while letting the air go. It's just very difficult, and it's something that you really have to work on hard. So that's something I'm doing right now. It's very difficult. It's especially difficult when you have 400 pounds sitting on your back, but it's just something I gotta keep working on because this is my reality now, so I'm just gonna keep working on it. So anyway, today I have low bar squats. It is with backed off percentages, as I mentioned before. I don't wanna do anything over an 8 RPE with low bar, trying to protect my back. And it's just kind of like my assistance work right now. And then Wednesday and Friday I have high bar. I am contemplating on Wednesday possibly doing one of my backed off doubles with low bar and just seeing, because I'm getting better at bracing now. It's feeling better. I just kind of want to see how it would feel in comparison to high bar with the same weight, but I'm not sure that it's going to be doable, at least until I get better at bracing while breathing at the same time. So that's my plan anyway.
Hey! Yeah. I do not.
Drink a lot of it.
Too bad. Wait, hey.
Fucking Twinkies over here.
I put this. Where's it better?
Definitely
All right, what you just saw was my 5th set of a 6x2. It's a lot of sets, but it's backed off. I mean, we're talking probably about 85% for doubles. So it's not like super hard work. Now, it certainly felt hard, especially in the beginning. I was pretty tight and sore coming in, still pretty fatigued, but each passing set I actually felt better and better. So by the time I got to this last set, the 5th one, I actually felt really good and it moved pretty well. It felt pretty good. So that's the good part. That's the encouraging part. Now what I want to try now, which I mentioned on Monday, was I want to try a low bar. And my way of thinking is, if I can do low bar for the same amount of weight, but a lesser RPE, perhaps I can still do low bar and get the same amount of weight that I would on a high bar without pushing as hard and without risking as much. Because the whole reason I got away from low bar is it's harder on my back, and it's really hard for me to get a good brace with it, and my paraspinals, my spinal erectors just work overtime without that good brace on low bar. So I'm getting better at bracing without keeping my breath, so I just want to see. I'm not necessarily going to switch, I just want to see what it feels like, and we can kind of make a determination from there. So I'm going to hit this low bar set now, and then I will check in afterwards and let you know how it felt, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, just the easy way. We might have to switch. That was ridiculously easy. Like, I can't even, there's no comparison. Like, I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless. That was so much easier. It felt so much better. So, what the hell am I doing to myself? Like, here's my biggest concern. Say I make the switch to low bar. What I would tell myself is, don't go too hard, don't go to too high of a percentage, keep it backed off, keep it to like below a 9 RPE, you know, and don't ever go for like a crazy grinding 1 rep max, because that's how I'm gonna hurt myself, right? How do you stop yourself in the moment, you know what I mean? Like, can I do that? Can I back off? But if I can back off and be good and do more weight with less effort, why would I not do it? So I gotta look at it. I haven't even looked at the footage yet. I gotta talk it over with Jake, see what he thinks. But I think there's a strong possibility I might be switching back to low bar here. We shall see. My back feels fine, feels great, so. So much easier. It's just ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, it was good, man.
thanks. It's like not even a contest. What was that, like 6 RPE? Like, I almost died under that weight last week. All right, so as I talked about, this is Jesus. Nothing like trying to shoot a video with Layne in the background. So, as I mentioned, I decided to go with low bar again today, and it went extremely well. Like, just extremely well. So, here's the thing. Like, I know a lot of people are probably like, okay, well, obviously low bar's gonna be easier than high bar. Duh. No shit, Colin. Well, the problem I have is, with the lack of a good brace, my hips will come up early, and then my back will follow. And with low bar, that can be a very dangerous situation. All right. I have gotten a lot better at bracing without keeping my breath. I have really increased my core strength. I've done a lot of core exercises to get my back healthier. So I'm hopeful that all that will lead to being able to do low bar and keep my back healthy. And I also feel like if I can do more weight at a lower RPE, why wouldn't I do it? You know what I mean? So if I can do 405 for a 7 RPE versus 390 for a 9.5 RPE, well, I can just back off and not go as hard. So I think it's gonna work well. I'm excited. What I'll probably do, I'm gonna talk it over with Jake, but what I'll probably do is 1 day of high bar and 2 days of low bar, and we'll kind of go from there. But I'm excited, feels really good. Back feels fine, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna go hit some bench and some deadlifts, and probably play a little footage out, and then I will talk to you guys in the next video.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's a boy!